one of the most annoying things that we can do is to break our key in the lock. So today I'm going to have a look at trying to extract broken keys from a couple of locks. There are several methods, and it really depends upon the position of your lock, the type of lock, the size of the keyway, and so on. So what I've done is that I have broken a key, and this is the broken part, and I'm going to push this into this lock here. That has gone right in, and I can't see any part of it jutting out. Now, a couple of ways to get this out. If you are lucky enough to be able to access the other side of your lock, you might be able to use something just like a paper clip. It's not always possible. If you've locked yourself out of a house, you can't probably get to the other side of the lock. But if you've locked yourself inside of the house and broken the key, you can open the door and go to the back of the lock, and I am going to push this paper clip into the back of the lock. And there you see, the lock can be pushed all the way through. The broken key can be pushed all the way through. So that is an easy way to get out a broken key. However, if you cannot access the other side of the keyway, which is probably the most common scenario, we have a variety of little tools which will enable us to get the broken key out. Now, firstly is this little macro tool or micro tool. It's a tiny little one. It's got a little hook on the end, and what we're going to do is to put this into the keyway if there's space. Because the key has gone beyond the first pin, I need to push the first pin down to get the little hook past it. I then need to get this little tiny tool further into the lock if it's possible. Okay, I feel it going in. It will always take one or two attempts, I've no doubt. In we go. And as you can see, the broken key is coming out. So how does that work? Well, what happens is that I push this little hook along inside the keyway. It then goes up underneath one of these teeth and pulls it out. Okay, so that is another way of doing it. The next thing I want to show you is that if, for example, you cannot get, let's get rid of this. If you cannot get to the other side of your key, of your lock, for example, like this one here, there's no access from the other side. So the only access, if your key is broken inside, is from the key side. So I'm going to put this into here and show you another way of accessing it. I don't really want to break my key inside, so I'm going to put it halfway in. Imagine it's broken, and what I'm going to do is to use one of these very tiny devices here. Now then, if you look closely, can I get this close enough? Can you see the barbs on these? I think there you can. These little bits of wire range from 0.9 of a millimeter down to 0.6 of a millimeter. And here we are. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, this one is 0.7 of a millimeter. However, at the end of these little bits of wire, there are barbs. I don't know if you can see them. They are tiny little barbs. If I turn it over, can you see those? Not easy. Okay, and what's going to happen is that I'm going to push this little bit of metal inside the keyway, turn the barbs. Oh, by the way, this is a dimple lock. Okay, you need to know which side the barbs are, because if they're on the wrong side, you won't be able to grab the keyway, you won't be able to grab the key, and it then will pull the key out. As you can see, this is a dimple lock, this is a dimple key, and what happens is that I push this device along, turn the barbs inwards, and they lock on to the dimples and pull the key out. So there is 3 ways of getting broken keys out. Some people have said they like to use a toothpick with a little bit of super glue on it. I don't recommend that because it might well destroy your lock. So there we are, a little look at how to get out broken keys. I hope that's been useful to you. Thanks for watching.